Hello. This lesson is a Georgia O'Keeffe inspired lesson called Ladder to a Cloudy Sky. Georgia O'Keeffe had two paintings, one called Sky Above Clouds and the other one called Ladder to the Moon, that inspired this. You need a 6 by 18 inch white construction paper, brown, yellow, white, and black tempera paint, 1.5 by 2 inch piece of cardboard, pencil, white crayon, 11 by 13 inch watercolor paper, blue watercolors, water, brush, scissors, and glue. Painting the ladder and ground using the 6 by 18 inch piece of paper and the piece of cardboard. Start by dipping the cardboard into the brown paint and making strokes, scraping it along the white paper. You're going to use plenty of brown, add a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white here and there, and then a tiny bit of black in a couple spots. Be careful not to use too much black. Continue until you've filled your paper. Once you've completed it, set it aside to let it dry completely. For the next part, we're going to be drawing clouds. I want you to notice that the clouds at the top are bigger than the clouds at the bottom. It's going to give it a perspective like it's going further away from us. Here I am lightly drawing the clouds on the paper with my pencil. Remember to go from big to small as you get down. It's going to give the perspective of distance. Go until you're about 3 inches from the bottom. For the next step, we're going to color the clouds white all over, but extra thick along the lines. So I start by taking my white and I color it really thick around the lines, the edges of the cloud, and then I color in the center. The edges are the most important part because that's where the water or the paint is going to be closest to it. And you want this paint to not go on your cloud. This is creating a crayon resist. You can see my clouds are shiny where it's white. If you can't see it, take your finger and rub over the clouds and you'll be able to feel the waxy crayon. For the next step, we're going to be painting the sky. Use plenty of water, touching the edges of the cloud, and then make it darker blue towards the bottom of the paper as you get down there. Remember, use plenty of water so that your colors spread out. It's okay if it looks a little bit splotchy, but you want it to go from left to right as you're painting, so it helps with that perspective of distance. While that dries, let's start tearing the brown to create the ground. First, turn your paper over, line it up with the edge of your paper to get the width, and draw a line. Now, draw a wavy line to create the top edge of the land. Cut the straight edge up to that part, and then very, very carefully tear along the wiggly line you made. Now make sure it matches. It should go up to the little clouds. Turn it back over. Put some glue along the very edges and then in the center. And then flip it back over and glue it to the bottom edge of your paper. Turn it over, and if you have a little bit sticking out, you can just trim that off. Now back to the brown paper, making the ladder. Draw straight lines and get about 3 strips. Glue 2 long strips to make the sides of your ladder, and then you can cut the other strip into smaller pieces to make the rungs on your ladder. I try to tuck the left side of the rung underneath the other long strip, and then the right side lays on top. I hope this art project inspires you to think about all the places you could go if you could climb to the top of this ladder.